Frederic Jesup Stimson was an American writer and diplomat. Born in 1855 in Dedham, Massachusetts, the son of Edward Stimson and Sarah Tufts Richardson. He graduated law at Harvard, teaching there between 1902 and 1914, and between 1915 and 1921 he was the U.S. ambassador to Argentina, and also served as Assistant Attorney General in Massachusetts. In 1881, he married Elizabeth Bradley Abbott, the pair having one daughter. He was a close friend to poet John Boyle O'Reilly, with whom he co-wrote The King's Men, A Tale of Tomorrow. The two plotted Stimson's best-selling book, King Noanett, together during their frequent canoe journeys, but Stimson had to write it himself after O'Reilly's death. Stimson died in Dedham in 1943. He began publishing in the 1880s, submitting his stories to magazines like Scribner's. In 1893, he published his collection In the Three Zones. Only the first story is fantastic, but they all have a bitter romantic plotline. An Alabama courtship concerns a man meeting Miss Janie Bruce and her sister on a train, driving with them and his friends to the end of an unfinished railroad, and witnessing several U.S. Marshals managing to fool a band of bootleggers by donning blackface, only for the bootleggers to take the Marshals hostage along with the general in command. Eventually, the bootleggers assist the narrator's party to successfully elope, but it takes quite a lot of train hopping to elude the pursuit of the Bruce's cousin Kirk trying to stop them. A lot does happen, but in the end, Janie Bruce only declares herself willing to marry the narrator, so cousin Kirk won't shoot him, and that's about all the development the two have, since she doesn't really speak to the narrator for most of the trip. Los Caraqueños deals with the marriage of the Marqués del Torre to his niece Dolores, and why the two never met again after their wedding day. Dolores is loved by the Marquis's nephew Ramon, but the Archbishop, an enemy of the Marquis, tries to worm-tongue his way to make the Marquis marry Dolores instead, simply to make her marry someone whom she does not want to. All because the Marquis is a supporter of Bolivar, while the Archbishop is a supporter of the Spanish government. The two get married, but only after the Marquis kills his nephew when provoked. There happens to be an earthquake during the ceremony that levels most of Caracas, and Dolores thinks that God disliked their marriage so much he killed 30,000 people, which I find rather silly. Because of the way the Marquis behaves after he comes to, after falling unconscious during these events, Dolores resolves never to meet him again, always disappearing from her window when he returns, for 10 long years until his death. Dr. Materialismus, the only fantastic tale and the first story in the book, concerns a narrator who comes in contact with an eccentric and potentially malicious German professor. The man had built a strange contraption in an old mill, producing sound vibrations at faster and faster speeds, which, when amplified, creates all manner of emotions in one exposed to it, including an irrational desire to murder anyone currently in the room. The stories vary in tone, but they are well written, though modern readers will probably only care for the first one.